guys, welcome back to The Right Side. Macy here, The Right Side Girl, and today we're going to be sharing my November TBR. Alright, forgive me, we're in transition. I have like half Halloween, half not Halloween. I'm putting stuff away today now that we are officially past Halloween time. So I'm going to talk about some things that I want to get to for November. This is going to be anything that I want to try to get to before Jingle Bellathon, which is happening November 25th through December 8th. The announcement video will be up in just a couple days, so stay tuned for that. It's my holiday, Christmas, winter themed readathon. We have a really good time. So I've got a nice stack. I'm going to mostly try to finish series before the readathon. As per usual, I added a couple during the Halloween season that I want to finish. So we're going to talk about those, and then I have a couple physical reads that I need to wrap up as well. Alright, I actually started this one on ebook, so it's taking me a long time to read because I read really slowly on ebook. And then I did a Halloween exchange with some local girls here, and I had this on my wish list and she got it for me. So I am currently reading Not Another Vampire Book from Cassandra Gannon. I wanted to read this just because it is beautiful, and all of her covers are like this. They're really fun. This is considered an adult romance book. I've heard it's not too spicy, so we're gonna see, but it's really like silly and funny. I'm only like 40 pages into it right now. Basically, our main character is a book editor, and she is editing this vampire romance novel that she hates and she thinks is cheesy and ridiculous, and she winds up kind of falling into the story and having to interact with these characters, trying to escape and get back to regular life, and of course falling in love with one of them. So it's very over the top, ridiculous, extremely cheesy, but it kind of knows what it is, so I'm enjoying it so far. I will have an update for this in my November reading wrap up, but I need to finish this one. More vampire reads, because I did a vampire themed reading week pretty much the last week of October leading up to our Halloween party, and these are two that I started during that one. I'll link this video down below as well as up in the cards, but I started Wisdom of Blood by A.G. Howard. I ordered this one because again, the cover is beautiful. I've been eyeing it for a while. This again is an adult vampire romance. I don't know how spicy it is. All of A.G. Howard's other books are YA, and I love her other books. I am about 60 pages into this one, and I'm loving it because her writing style is incredible. I don't want to say too much because it's kind of good to go in blind, but there's this couple that gets newly married. Our main character is very big into horticulture and plants and kind of unique things, but this is kind of looked down upon at this time. I think we're around the 1700s, I'm not entirely sure. And he gets married, and on his honeymoon night he like goes out into the garden to get something, and he gets swept away by vampires to never return. We're following him and then our bride as well, and the situations are really interesting. It's very gothic and lush so far, so again, I'll keep you updated. Then for some series I want to finish, and obviously I'm not going to get to all of these in November. We only have about 3.5 weeks until the readathon. I kind of go a little bit more chill the last couple of months of the year, so these are just things that are hopeful that I can get to as many as possible, and we'll just have to see. But I am halfway through Discovery of Witches. I'm determined to finish this. I have started this a couple times and not finished it just because there's so many things I want to get to through spooky season, and I've just decided to just read this no matter what, and then I can watch the show. I'm liking this so far. This is about a witch who doesn't really want to be a witch and doesn't practice magic, and then a vampire. They're very big in academic studies and discovering certain things, and she has started to uncover something that is going to be big in the scientific world, and this has drawn out a lot of people from that world as well as a lot of supernatural beings, and so the vampire is there to kind of help guide her and protect her, and there's like a little romance. Bad description, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm halfway through. It's definitely a bit of a slower burn. I'm really liking it, so I will update you guys when I actually finish this one. And then I'm hoping to also get to Shadow of the Night, which is the second book, if I wind up liking this one. I also have this series. I can't remember the name of the series, but the first one is Not Even Bones that I read during my Not So Scary-a-thon readathon, so I'll link that video as well if you want to see me read it. This is like the Monsters of Something series. We're in this world where monsters are just a thing, and they're a part of like society. There's a whole separate like police force and everything to kind of control them, and our main character dissects monsters and sells their body parts on the black web. So her mother brings her these bodies, she doesn't question them, and there's different monsters, like the bones of one monster are kind of like cocaine, and then the actual body parts of another monster like taste really good, and so they sell them on this black market. And then one day her mom brings home a live human boy, and she's expected to dissect him living, and she is out, and so she helps him escape, and then things just go haywire from there. It is very gory, very bloody. I wouldn't say that it's scary, but it's extremely dark. I really loved the first book, so I went and bought these next two off of Pango immediately so that I could read them because I want to see where the series wraps up because the first one left on a major cliffhanger. So hopefully getting to these as well. And then I'd like to get to Queen of Shadows, which is the next one in my Throne of Glass read for the year. I am not going to finish this series by the end of the year, I don't think, because we're getting ready to come into the holiday season and I really like to read holiday books, but I'm really hoping to get to at least this one, if not this one and the next one. I think I have 4 left, but they're just really huge. They're like over 20-hour audiobooks. I am going to do these via audio. I'm enjoying it. I didn't love the last one I read quite as much as the one before it, but this is the next one that is in the series. It's a huge fantasy series. Our main character is an assassin. There's royalty, there's romance. It is a young adult series. I'm enjoying it so far, so I'm gonna keep continuing. We're just getting there little bits at a time. Those are the main series that I want to focus on this month, and then I want to get to at least 1 or 2 books that are not part of a series, and one of them is Your Blood, My Bones by Kelly Andrew. This one is kind of giving me spooky season vibes, but it's also giving me fall vibes because there's like vines and gardens and things. I know it's set on a farm. Wyatt Westlock has one plan for the farmhouse she's just inherited: to burn it to the ground. But during her final walkthrough of her childhood home, she makes a shocking discovery in the basement. Peter, the boy she once considered her best friend, is strung up in chains and left for dead. Unbeknownst to Wyatt, Peter has suffered hundreds of ritualistic deaths on her family's property. Semi-immortal Peter never remains dead for long, but he can't really live either, not while he's bound to the farm, locked in the cycle of grisly deaths and painful rebirths. Now there's only one way to break him free. He needs to end the Westlock line. He needs to kill Wyatt. Sounds really good. Honestly, I just adore this cover. I love anything with like nature vibes. My friend sent me this beautiful edition. I think it's from the Bookish box. So this is one that I would like to get to that's just like a YA standalone. And then I would also like to get to Lady of Steel and Straw. Again, kind of a transitional book. This one giving me a little spooky season vibes, but also just like cool for fall. So we have star-crossed lovers grapple with forbidden attraction and a growing army of the ghostly dead in this swashbuckling YA fantasy. After 10 years of exile following regicide in the House of Tristane, an alarming royal edict is delivered to the immortal Scarecrow Guardians, who once defended the crown. They surrender themselves to the Church of the Silent Gods or stand accused of further treason. But with a puppet prince set to take the throne and vengeful wraiths appearing with alarming frequency, something foul and sinister is at work in the kingdom of Nouveau. Got a lot happening, but it's giving me kind of fall vibes with the scarecrows in there. I feel like it's a good transition because I've been reading so many like spooky gothic books. And this is a 2024 YA new release that was on my most anticipated. I love the cover too. I think one of the scarecrows is also made of lavender, which I love. This is one I'd like to get to that's just a standalone. Okay, so that's all I'm going to talk about here. I have like more in the back of my mind, but I don't know how ambitious I'm going to be in the next 3 weeks, so we'll just have to see. Let me know if any of these sound good to you. Let me know what you plan on reading in November, what's on your TBR, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl. I post a lot of fun bookish content on there. Get ready, we're going to transition into holiday season soon, and I will see you guys next time on The Bright Side.